In this lesson, I'm going to explain the purpose of citing your paper. So what is citing? Citing includes an in-text citation, which you can see at the upper right. An in-text citation is embedded in a sentence, often at the end of the paragraph, but it can be in the middle too. An in-text citation indicates that the idea is from somebody else. So the ideas from the sentences in the paragraph come from somebody with the last name of Crames. When you read an academic paper, the sentences in the paragraphs that don't have citations are the ideas of the writer, and the cited sentences or paragraphs are the ideas of somebody else. For every unique citation in your written work, you provide a reference entry at the bottom of the paper. So here we see the reference entry for this citation. The same last name appears, Crames, and then the first and middle initials, then the title of the work, and then who published it. There are three primary reasons why you cite. It projects credibility and authority in your writing. You're backing up your points with research. This indicates that it's not merely your opinion, but an expert's opinion backed by research. It helps your readers to drill down and locate the source for themselves. That way they can gain additional information if they're interested. And then finally, it avoids charges of plagiarism, which is passing off something you say as your original idea when it actually is something that somebody else said. So therefore, if you cite it, you give the proper credit to the original author. Let's look at some writing without and with citing. On the left, you have some writing without citing. This will be assumed to be the ideas of the reader, but what is the evidence that the writer knows anything about this? The writing on the right has 4 cited points. Kleinmark claims that higher education is under pressure today. Kurtz claims a reason is high tuition cost. Jones claims a reason is student debt. Jarrett claims a reason is less state funding. So now the writing carries more authority because it's the ideas of other people who are experts. The reader can determine how expert these people are by examining the information in the reference list and looking it up if they want. Citing helps the reader to drill down and obtain additional information. Normally, newspaper and magazine articles are not cited. They have quotations from people they interview, but they typically don't provide a reference list at the end of the article. What I'm showing here is an excerpt from an article in Forbes magazine that says, rising standards of living around the world mean more people can afford cars. Let's say I wanted to write a paper about that. I'd like to read more information about that, but I can't find it in this article because magazine articles don't contain a reference list like academic work. The article further states that younger consumers have different attitudes about transportation. Again, if I wanted to write a paper about that, I'd like to know who said that and where can I read more about it, but because it's not cited and there is no reference list, I can't find that information. Citing also prevents you from committing plagiarism. Plagiarism can ruin reputations. I've provided 2 examples of some very famous and very successful authors who were accused of plagiarism. Both were historians. Doris Kearns Goodwin is a famous historian, and she was forced to resign from a board because she was accused of copying somebody else's work. Another famous and successful historian, the late Stephen Ambrose, was also accused of plagiarism. This is a very serious offense for an author. Their reputations are tarnished as a result. Therefore, you don't want to be accused of plagiarism, and properly citing your papers will help you avoid that. There is some confusion between citing and quoting. You cite other people's ideas rewritten in your own words, which is called paraphrasing. You also cite other people's ideas written in their words, which is called quoting. Quoting uses the exact words of somebody else. Paraphrasing uses your words to express somebody else's ideas. Both are cited. The only difference is you enclose the exact words of a quotation within quotation marks. Now, there are different forms of citing. Different academic disciplines use different forms. Some common forms are APA style, which stands for American Psychological Association, MLA style, which stands for Modern Language Association, and the Chicago Manual of Style. I'll contrast these in the next module. Well, I hope that you've learned the purpose of citing and can see how important it is. Thanks for listening.